So MKBHD with Adams just recently released a shoe, and here's the shoe. I think it's really nice how it all comes together. You have this really nice woven pattern in between right here, and as well as stretchy laces, believe it or not. I thought that was really nice. And if you can see in between here, I believe they said it was a copper lining. That way it's antibacterial. The design is fair. I think it's good. But the biggest thing that I love about the shoe is the comfort. The comfort on these are insane. I've been thoroughly impressed on how much cushion the heel has, and as well as the stretch that the laces have. Putting it back on right now. But yeah, you can slip these on, where sometimes I've actually had trouble getting back into Nike mids. So I will say that I'm beyond impressed with the comfort, the flexibility that these shoes have. And I'm really impressed just because part of that, I just wanted to have a quick talk about the fact that there's a lot of collaborations that YouTubers are making nowadays, and how well they are working in tandem with their brands, or not even with their brands, but just producing an overall good quality product that people are willing to buy into, whether they're fans or not fans. I think one of the craziest things is that Mr. Beast, one of the most prominent YouTubers, if not the biggest YouTuber, has a burger joint that spreads over dozens, countless ghost kitchens, and as well as Feastables, which is a chocolate that actually sells at Walmart. And different brands such as Logan Paul with KSI on Prime, they have their own respective drink that is now actually being sponsored by the UFC. So all these crazy different YouTubers with their brands are able to get recognition on their products and produce something that captivates people who are their fans, but also general public into buying them. So I think that's crazy to see how things are being navigated in this day and age, where you don't have to be in a big celebrity role, let alone be in this big corporation where you have to have a big status to get something done. They're able to do this and do it seemingly at an easier way than most people ever could. And I think that's beyond impressive. I think that's really eye-opening, and at least for me, inspirational to see that things can be done in a new manner that most people may have not thought was possible. So I'm thoroughly impressed about that, and it's nice to see that people are able to make these things happen through their own brand, through their representation, and see how different things come about. You normally wouldn't see these kinds of things come out throughout the woodwork out of nowhere. So it's nice to see that someone can produce a product that they maybe have interest in and are passionate about, and they can work something up that they can see and navigate in a different way. Just like Mr. Beast wanted to make chocolate that was a little healthier, just because he said himself that. I think that's very inspiring to see how things are changing and how we're navigating a new place and a new world where people can start doing their own materials, something that they want to envision into the world, and produce something of value that they like and that they can envision being improved upon. Just because all these big different corporations have their own established marketplace doesn't mean that a person who is interested in shoes, chocolate, coffee, any other product or brand that they want to make, that they can go out there and do it themselves if they can see a new avenue and make that better or make it in their own way. I think that's amazing and inspiring to me, just because you can see more potential in growing something of their own that they're interested in and that they're passionate about. I think that's crazy. So I'd love to see what happens in the future, and I am beyond curious for it. With Mr. Beast and his Beast Burgers, just because he differentiated and he wanted to make ghost kitchens. It wasn't the traditional sense of starting a restaurant. So I thought that was really interesting, and it was a great start into that. But not only that one, but for him, he has two. He actually has also Feastables, which Feastables on its own is very interesting, just because you get chocolate and you have to make it in a traditional format. But for him, he decided he wanted to make it a healthier alternative, which I think is crazy. It just goes to show that when a creator puts their love and passion and genuine effort into something, they can make something that's maybe not in the eyes of a big corporation, which I found really interesting just because we're going to see a lot more of these things, and I'm only more curious about how things are going to pan out in the future. I think there's a lot of possibilities, and I'm beyond excited to see where it goes, just because we're going to see more iterations, more brand partnerships, future YouTubers and creators and producers and influencers who can make more products themselves. So I think there's a lot of potential in that, and it makes me insanely curious to see where things go. I think there's only the limit is sky high, and I'm very excited to see the potential that it can give out. I think it's really important to see where things go. And I think it's also really important to see how things can shape up for the future for everyone. And I think it's a bit of motivation for everyone to think that they can put their work and hands into something that they love, and that just because it seems far-fetched, it doesn't mean it isn't tangible. I'm sure that MKBHD, when he was young, didn't assume that he could make shoes that were as insanely comfortable, as high quality, and as good, but I'm impressed beyond all measurable doubts, and I have zero regrets on buying them. I'm excited to see where the potential for all these products that creators make can go. I think that they can compete fairly well with other corporations, normal name brands that a lot of people get. I want to see different things and the potentials that they all have, see where they go, just because that's one big thing that a lot of people have to realize is when there's an audience, there's always the loyal followers who are willing to try it out, but also the people who don't know them and are just curious, because like Mr. Beast's chocolate that's at Walmart, you can easily grab that, but so can the random shopper and taste it and become a loyal fan just because of the quality. And I think that's one big thing that can happen for a lot of these creators if they really put something that they like and they put a lot of love and effort into it. I think you can produce results that even beat big corporations that have to meet different types of satisfactions or don't take that much care into quality. So it's really interesting to see how Marques Brownlee was able to make something very comfortable, very good, and I'm very impressed. Like, if anything, it gave some good representation for Adams, and I really want to actually buy another pair, which I probably won't buy any soon, but definitely curious about their brand in general just because of how comfortable these are. I'm thoroughly impressed, but I just wanted to say beyond that, you guys, I'll see you on the next one.